Well, hello, everybody. It is a gorgeous, sunny Saturday here in the metro Atlanta area. I don't know what the weather's like in your areas, but it has finally started to warm up. Well, I mean, we did have a burst of warm at the beginning of February, and then it got cold. And then now it's back to, trying to be warm again. So I'm a little excited. Means spring is right around the corner. So yeah, it's going to be a really awesome day. But it is also more awesome for one individual. Today is Percy's 14th birthday. 14 years ago, approximately, he was born. We don't have an exact date because he was a rescue, so we just decided that because Bradley's birthday really was April 1st, I made Jesse and Percy's birthday March 1st because that's approximately when it was. And then Riley's is June 1st, just because of the timing as well. When you rewind the dates, that's about when her birthday is. So, yeah, today is Percy's 14th birthday. Very excited. He's going to be getting some really awesome treats, some extra lovin's, as if he doesn't get enough as it is. And it's going to be a really awesome day. So, let's do a quick recap of who's in the chat because it's already been a little busy, kind of crazy and stuff. My friend Steven of Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter is firsties. He's like, "Hi Russ, I'm first here." We have Greenland Quilter Katie, and yeah, some conversation on how to properly spell Steven's name. He's not a step hen, just in case anybody's wondering. Steven says the framed cats is very cute. Oh, you have no idea. I've got something to share in a second. My friend Ingrid is here, who says hi, Russ and everyone. There's that. Steven is complaining that his typing sucks today, and my chat kind of moved. Ingrid said it is warmer but very windy today where she is. Okay, I mean warm. It was really windy this week. There was a couple days where like it could be nice to eat outside, but the wind was too much. And then there was one day we did eat outside. That was Thursday, and our stuff started flying away. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Jeannie E. And good morning, Dana. Ingrid says, "Happy 14th birthday, Percy." Yeah, he's a handful. Good morning, Candace. Candace and I are going to be gallivanting next weekend, so that's going to be fun. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, Marie. So, as I made comment, I'm working on the framed cat's quilt, which I think I left the pattern over there with the full picture. My audio is cutting out. I don't see why my audio would be cutting out. Huh. Hopefully it's not cutting out because my microphone says it's fine. I think. Let me know if it continues to be a problem. You might want to restart your stream, question mark. Because I have no way to test this without actually muting everybody and unmuting my TV. And we ain't gonna want to have to do that. But I will try to speak a little bit more clearer and louder, so hopefully that the audio is not cutting out. If it is, I will have to check other things later. And Steven says audio is not cutting out at his end, and everybody else says it seems fine. So Candace, check your connection. So as I said, I am working on the framed cat's quilt. I've started a couple blocks because there's no way that I can do all 9 blocks in the time that I usually allot. If I allotted twice the amount of time, I might actually have been able um, to do it. But um, yeah, I only generally stream for about an hour and stuff. Candace says she's restarted YouTube and it's fixed. Okay, awesome. Uh, Good morning, Kathy, as well, who I just saw, and Joyty. So I started a few blocks, and let me tell you, these cats are adorable. Like, they're just totally cute and everything. So I'm going to show you the couple blocks I finished, then we'll work on a few blocks and hopefully maybe get it done based on the amount of time it took me to get these blocks done. So this is the first block. It is so cute. And then this one is doing the whole bone apple teeth. Just, adorable. We have this one doing what Jesse really liked to do, which is watching the fishbowl. Oh, wait, this one's actually in the fishbowl, isn't he? Oh, he is in the fishbowl. Okay, so not quite what Jesse liked to do. So this one is really cute. And then the last block that I have completed is this guy eating the watermelon. So I have 4 blocks done and 5 blocks left to do. And then it's just putting some sashing and borders on. It's a very simple project. I got it from Fort Worth Fabric Studio. It was in their Friday newsletter 2 weeks ago, I think. It was a bit ago. It was a nice surprise when I saw it. I was like, I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need it. And I bought it. Which is kind of how it goes sometimes. So as we are working on these, let me see if I can get to this guy. This one is the next one I'm going to be starting. He looks like he's a little exhausted having his beverage. Good morning, Christina, who says cute cats. They are totally adorbs. So I managed to get all of this except for the border and sashing cut last night. Didn't take too long. The panel is all fussy cut, and it can basically work with just about any panel. It's a free pattern from Studio E Fabrics. Now Joyty is trying to say that I'm coming in and out with my audio. YouTube. Ingrid said yes. She said the same thing. I don't need it, but had to have it. The next cat that I am pulling up is this guy who has some sushi. Which this block, like, it's a very simple block. You're just basically putting a couple borders around each of the blocks that you cut. Which I'm going to say is generally what people do with fabrics, with border things like this. And what I'm doing is I have all my pieces set up together, and I'm just putting my borders here side by side by side, and that will help me make sure I keep everything in order. And then this is one of the fabrics in there, and I gotta say, this guy right here, he's my favorite. He's Mr. Sushi Guy that we just did. I love the face on him and everything. It wasn't until I just saw that he's Mr. Sushi Guy that I um, realized that this is just a print of all of the panel pieces together. Uh, Ingrid asks me, do I use a knee lift? No. I have like mental things that I can say raise, lower, raise, lower, all mentally. Yeah, I have a knee lift. I love the knee lift. It helps me a lot. I'm not having to reach under here to grab the um what are those things called? To raise and lower the presser foot. So it's been a great time saver. Joydy is asking what I working on. This is called Framed Cats. It is from Studio E Design or Studio E Fabrics. They have a fabric line. I think it's called like Instagram Cats or something. And they put all of these together into a really cute panel set. And he was like, haha, teach me how to do that. It would be kind of cool if, you could mentally say raise, lower, but then again, that can be a little bit distracting when you're trying to get all your fabrics straight. Ingrid must not be paying too much attention to work right now because I've been using my knee lift for ages and she's never noticed it before. These cats were fun to cut out last night. You had to fussy cut them all, so it did take a little bit more time. I also noticed that the pattern is not quite fabric efficient because I was really confused. It told me to cut 5 strips of the orange and the green to cut the pieces that you need, and you only needed 4 strips, so I have extra pieces. I also, wasn't paying attention when I was doing my cutting to say, oh, I really didn't need to cut that much. But at the same time, I cut more pieces of the houndstooth and the tossed kitties because I knew I was going to need more, so I didn't have to worry about having the seam in the middle. And then now that I've got them both sides on here, I'm going to press it. And we will be putting tops and bottoms on. Last year, so what is it now, 14 months ago, at Stephanie's retreat, I forgot to pack my knee lift. It was the worst sewing that I have done in ages because I didn't have my knee lift. So every time that I was finished with the seam, I'd move my knee to try to raise the thread or raise the presser foot. Nothing happened. And I was like, cripes, I forgot that. And I had been using a knee lift for so long that the muscle memory did not go away the entire 4 days at the retreat. So the entire time I was like, I want my knee lift. And it was almost so bad that I decided to I almost said that I was going to come home to pick it up because it was only like a 90-minute or so, just under 2-hour drive home. So I would have just been gone for a couple hours. Dana is asking, what have I learned about the news that I cannot reveal? Nothing. Initially, we were told that which I'm not talking about is going to be talked about on Thursday. We had a meeting on Thursday that said, okay, well, it's going to be revealed on Friday. And like, I haven't heard anything directly, and the other two people in the team hasn't said anything. And I'm not going to ask anybody if they had heard anything, because at that point, if I ask one of them and they say no, then they're going to be thinking that it was the other person when it may or may not be. So we really haven't talked about it. My guess is if anybody has heard, we will talk about it on Monday when all three of us are in the office. So, no news, and I'm going to just say it's no news. Good morning, Stephanie. Stevens goes, tops and bottoms, boots and pants. And I'm sorry, he goes pants and boots. It's boots and pants. I'm sorry, boots and pants. Order matters. This one. And there's only 8 seams per block, so they do go fairly quickly. Change my conversation again. Steven's trying to rewrite the phrase. Steven is a legend in his own mind. And also, interesting news, we found out yesterday that Riley is 9% Satan spawn. Because I had been thinking initially, like when I got her, that I wanted to DNA test her just to make sure, if there was anything that I needed to know health-wise, because we didn't know where she came from. And I asked my sister, okay, who should I use for the DNA test? And because she had done it with her doggo, her older doggo, who was no longer with us, and she didn't tell me who she used. So I assumed they were all basically the same. I think that's what she was assuming too. And Embark had a sale going on, and I said, "Okay, I'll use Embark." And when I used them, they told me it was like 3 or 4 biggins, but lumped everything else, which was 26%, into Supermunt. And I was like, that doesn't give me like all the percentages that my sister got, and I found out that she used Wisdom Panel. And I was like, well, I don't want to spend another $100 on another DNA test. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess I won't know all the details. What I got was enough for me. I guess Wisdom was doing a sale end of last year, early this year, and she bought a Wisdom panel because she wanted to know how much Satan spawn was in Riley. And we did, or I did it, and I was like, I hope I got enough DNA because Riley does not like being swabbed. She really did not like it. And I'm like, well, this is here and you'll get a treat right after. So, I sent it all in, and the results came back yesterday saying she's 9% Chihuahua. And it had a possible family lineage of, who it was, and it was like one of her, it was either grand or great grandparents was a Chihuahua mix, who probably mated with a German Shepherd. And that just gave me a hysterical visual of a German Shepherd and a Chihuahua trying to get it on. I will share more details of her DNA in my vlog this week, next week, whichever week it is, so everybody can know. There was also a couple little behavioral trait things that they gave included. And I was like, yep, she does that. Yep, she does that. Steven says that he would get into a battle of wits with me, but I'm unarmed. I may be unarmed, but I can pack a heavy blow. And also, my friend David was supposed to be visiting this weekend, but he had to call and cancel. Something else came up, and he's like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to make it up. I was like, okay, that's fine. We were going to Gallivant, but I guess that saves me a couple dollars. So these cost cats are fun because there's no technical upside, because as you see, some of them are upside right, some are upside down, so it's just really figuring out which ones you want up, which ones you want down. And then with the houndstooth, what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that the... Oop, you can't see that. I'm just making sure that this portion is always pointing down with the houndstooth. Houndstooth to me looks like the little Galaga characters from the arcade game. It was one of my favorite arcade games growing up. I was so good at it. I remember there was one time Mom was working at the sub shop, and for some reason we were at work with her. I do not know why. And the owner of the shop opened up the arcade cabinet and gave me, I think, 4 free credits, so $1 worth of credits. And like 20 minutes later, I'm still working on my first quarter. So he comes over, he starts cleaning the machine, and I'm like, stop it, you're messing up my game. He didn't really mess anything up because I somehow was still going. He's like, okay, next time I'm just only going to give you a quarter. I'm like, that's fine. That said, I have bought like the remix for one of the game systems. Not the remix, the re-release. Re-emulation, whatever it's called. And I remembered the stuff, but I was no longer as dexterous on it. So I was losing left and right. But that is one of those games I could hear it across the room, recognize and say, okay, I want to go play Galaga. This little guy on the watermelon is so cute. And these last seams are pretty long. Nothing like plays like the old arcade and pinball machines. You got that right. And then, even though they're going opposite directions, I still want to make sure that the 2 pointies of the houndstooth are at the are going towards down. So that's the best that I can do to make my OCD happy without having cut a whole lot of extra fabric, which I don't know how. I don't know if I would have had enough fabric to cut it that way from the kit. I didn't do that math because I was like, oh, I'll get it to work. Joydy says she likes that light on my machine. It is a fairly bright light. That was one of the things that light was one of the things that I was looking for when I was looking for a machine. Sometimes I wish it was a little brighter. But that's why we can buy extra lights. And I will. How did you move? I will say my YouTube lights help a lot to get all this extra light down here. So uh, it is brighter than without. Only quite where it's supposed to. Good morning, Karen. How you doing? I need to remember to keep this pattern in my back pocket anytime I see a panel like this on for sale. Because it's going very quickly. And a little update on my Saturday sampler, the on the bright side Saturday sampler that I had done for the past 12 months here on my channel. I got a call on Thursday saying one of the fabrics that they used to finish the Saturday sampler is no longer available anywhere. He's like, there's a quilt shop in Seattle that had, a couple yards, but my only next option is Singapore, and that's a little crazy. And yeah, I was like, okay, I get it. And she's like, you can come in to go look at other fabrics for you. And I said, there's no need. I'm looking at the fabric line right now. Do you have this fabric and this fabric? And she goes, the what? Because one of the fabrics is called banana. And I'm like, okay, it's a yellow fabric, banana, yellow. And she goes, oh yeah, we have that one. I was like, well then do you have this other one? Because the original sashing color would have looked nice with the yellow, but I think it would have been a little too big of a contrast. So I said, do you have the poolside? She goes, yeah. I was like, okay, make my kit up like that. And she goes, okay, that was just way too easy. I was like, you know why? I try to plan things and stuff. Karen says she had to make a quick run to the F store Are you not saying the J store? To use up a gift card that she was given. It's hard to spend money there. I am kind of sad about the J store. Okay, since I have these three done, I can show them off. Good morning, sweet granny. She says she's had a busy morning sewing placemats and mug rugs for the nursing home. That's a lot of fun. So we have Mr. Milkshake. Mr. Sushi. And the center square is Paul Lynn. I mean, a little bit of everybody. So I have 2 more blocks left and plenty of time to get them done on the live. The first one is eat healthy with, donuts and burgers and hush puppies and things like that. So easy to eat healthy with. And the final guy is Bon Appetit. With he's like, oh my goodness, it's got a triple cheeseburger. Sweet Granny asks, where did I get the cats? This is a kit that I purchased from Fort Worth Fabric Studio. There is a link in the description for that kit. As of last night, they had a couple left. I'm sure other shops are probably kitting it up as well. I also gave the link to the pattern from Studio E Fabrics in the description below if you want to kit it up yourself. If your local quilt shop carries the fabrics. Ingrid says she loves the blocks. It works up so fast. Yes, it does. I was pleasantly surprised and then also realized it's only 8 scenes per block. We did a lot more work with the dragon fruit blocks. So a quick and easy project like this seems like a dream. And of course, when I bought the kit, I had to buy my backing. And I probably should have tried to find the tossed cats for the backing. But Fort Worth Fabric Studios suggested either the blue or the orange for the backing. And probably because that's what they had the most stock of. And I chose the orange because orange is a fun color. Yes, Steven, the pattern is free. So that is a bonus because you can use it with um, any panel that has 8 blocks in it. Or if you can find the fabric locally. This green is a gorgeous green as well. I like limey things. Charlotte said she did her first freezer paper FPP blocks yesterday. Made a rainbow spinning star block. Love that you don't sew through the papers when you use the freezer paper so you can reuse it. I've seen that type of a process before. I'm kind of terrified to try that because I still don't sew straight. So I would end up sewing through the freezer paper and ruining it all. And I'm like, well, I should have just used the regular paper. But freezer paper, if I'm remembering the process well, lets you reuse each of the foundations so you don't have to buy the pattern again if you want to redo the project, which is my complaint about, like, I loved FPP, but my complaint is if I know that I want to do 2 of a project, like the fact, I'm making 4 graduation quilts in the same pattern. I would have to rebuy the FPP pattern multiple times, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. Charlotte says maybe she's learned to like FPP now. That could be it, because you got to figure out which methods work for you, work with your brain. I will say the first several times that I tried to learn FPP from YouTube University, I didn't understand it. And I'm like, I will never get this. I don't want to do FPP. When a friend of mine taught me FPP, I was like, ooh, I like this. Oh, Charlotte also says you can get freezer paper to use within your printer. Probably just an inkjet printer, not a laser printer. Because a little bit of wax that's on freezer paper would definitely melt in a laser printer. And I pay too much money for my new printer. I don't want to have it go kaputs. It is amusing, though, that I know several people who have purchased this pattern. Some from me enabling them, some from me not knowing that I enabled them, because they... And I somehow got disconnected for a second. I apologize for that. I got a notice on my computer here that said OBS got disconnected and then got reconnected. So I hope I'm still live. I won't know for a few more seconds. But I'm going under the assumption that I just froze for a second. Because the point at which I froze is about to be up on my TV. Dana says still live, so okay. Oh, I just saw the jump cut. That's kind of interesting that it just did a jump cut. There must have been enough buffers in there. Now I should be having flashbacks of that time with Sean where it was my very first live and I was on his channel. So the only thing that I had done before that was, edited videos. And all of a sudden, he lost power and the live was still going. So that was kind of terrifying on my part because I had no idea what I was doing. It was my first live, and I was like, help, I don't know what to do. I managed to survive. He managed to get back online because he needed to actually be the one to end the live. but it was still fun, and that got my feet really wet with lives. Four more seams. We might actually make this before one. I find it kind of amusing that I am working on a cat project on Percy's birthday. Steven says I'm slightly out of sync now. My lips don't match my mouth, or my lips don't match my words. If that's the case, I can't help anything about that. I know there's probably settings I could fiddle with, but then I would need to know how many milliseconds I'm off, and we're at the end of live. People will just have to suffer. And for houndstooth, that I make sure that they're always pointing the same side down. I wonder why I got disconnected for a second. Because my internet seems to be fine. Unless my router just had a hiccup. And just drop wireless devices for a second. Hola, Maritza's Yarn and Crafts. How you doing today? Okay, that's the side I want. Up. Bye, Dana. Have a wonderful weekend. Last seam, and then we will go over all of the blocks again. Just because they are so adorable, and everybody's got to see the kitty kitties. There we go. Okay. Now let me pull these off. Final presses, and then we will review. Okay, so for a recap of all the blocks, we have this kitty cat telling us to eat healthy. We have this kitty cat who's all excited to bon appetit with his triple cheeseburger and fries. I don't think I've ever been able to eat a triple cheeseburger. We have this kitty who is all sushi kitty. I think I like his little tongue going on there. We have this kitty with the milkshake. We have this kitty with the watermelon. So cute. I don't know if Percy's had watermelon. I don't normally buy watermelon, so that's probably a no. Kitty who got stuck in a fishbowl. Kitty going after a hot dog and hush puppies, tater tots, chicken nuggies. Are those fried pickles? No, those are some type of chips. And this one who is drinking boba juice. And then finally the center square, which is a little bit of everybody. So I think they came out gorgeous. I managed to get all the blocks done in just under 2 hours. That does not include cutting. And I still have to get the borders to put on all of them. Ingrid says she loves them all. Joydy asks, is that a kit? Yes, it's a kit. There's a link to it in the description for Fort Worth Fabric Studio. Don't know if anybody else has a kit. They had, I believe, like 2 or 3 left yesterday when I last checked. So they may be sold out by now. Hopefully not if you're looking for it. There's also a free pattern down in the description below as well. So if you want to kit it up yourself, if you're able to find the fabric line. Karen says, Purdy. Kelly says, what a productive hour. Awesome blocks. Yes, it was a productive hour. The sashing and borders is a tossed fish pattern, so I think that's going to be good. What is the name of the kit? Joydy asks. It is Framed Cats. That's the pattern and name of the kit's on there. Like I said, the link is directly below, but if you're on the phone and stuff, it's harder to get there. I get it. Candace says her cats are basic and only like chicken, hamburger, and sandwich meat. That sounds spoiled to me. Um, yeah, Percy's getting spoiled today. He's getting wet food for both of his meals today, so he's going to be very happy. And then, Riley can't be the one not getting spoiled, so she's going to get wet food this afternoon too, and extra treats. But I think I'm going to leave it at this. I got to go run a couple quick errands this afternoon. This afternoon, also at 5 p.m., I was invited on to Stephanie's channel. There's going to be like a panel discussion about some various things. So it's going to be me, her, and a couple other friends. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Wednesday, as always, is my weekly vlog. So it'll be fun. All the shenanigans that I got up to this week, and some good pictures of Percy and Riley. The things that everybody really likes. And like I said, you'll be getting some more of Riley's DNA result information. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And next week, I will not be live. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to be out gallivanting with Candace. We are going to go to a handful of quilt shops in the area, have some fun. And in order to hit all the shops that we are planning to hit, we got to leave fairly early. So that's not going to have time to do a full live. So, yeah, we'll have to figure out what I'm going to throw up onto the channel at the time if I throw anything up. I do know that next weekend is Steven's pop-up so day, so everybody's going to be there anyway. So I hope everybody has an awesome rest of your day. Toodles!